Hope you are able to see my screen. We will start concept called BAPI. What is the significance of this BAPI? What BAPI stands for? Generally, any programming language will have APIs, application programming interfaces. BAPI stands for Business Application Programming Interface. Business Application Programming Interface. So what this business application programming interfaces will do? You take Java or .NET or whatever, any language, when they want to communicate with other languages or other platforms, APIs are required. So as of now, what SAP is doing is, internally SAP has a function module. Inside a SAP, there will be a function module. That function module is a type of RFC function module. RFC stands for remote function call. We'll see what is this RFC function module. Till now we have created so many function modules, normal function modules, but we don't know what is a RFC function module. How can we make use of this RFC function module? We'll see that. So if you want to communicate between another platform, so this kind of RFC function module is required. So what we will do is we will try to convert this RFC function module into API method. And we will try to create an business object. What is this business object? So generally business object will expose SAP data to outside world with the help of some methods and object instance. So see, actually, so in SAP we have so many technical terms like function modules. We have come across subroutines. So the outside world means maybe Java or .NET platform or maybe some other platform. They don't know what is a function module is. They don't know what is a subroutine is. But all the languages, they know how to access a class and method, because they are object oriented. They too are object oriented programming languages. Most of the languages are object oriented programming languages. So they know how to access a particular class and method. So for the outside platforms, if we are able to provide the object and a method, then they can be able to access SAP data. So that is the main intention behind a BAPI. So BAPI is an interface. Interface is nothing but a communication channel between two different platforms. So what is the main use of this? BAPI can connect non-SAP systems to SAP systems. That means from non-SAP system you can access the data which is available in SAP. You can also do updates, you can do modifications, you can also do all sort of database operations on SAP from non-SAP system, provided you should have SAP login details. So that is what the main intention of the BAPI. It is an interface. So what are all the other interface technologies we have other than BAPI? Do we have discussed anything in like interface before? We have discussed BDC. Remember what BDC is doing? When we have data in text file or Excel file, it will upload data into SAP. So non-SAP to SAP, that is also bringing the data from non-SAP to SAP. But the limitation is will restrict itself to a text file or Excel file. For example, from direct Java application, I want to get into SAP through BDC, I cannot. But from BAPI, I can. From API, application programming interface, I can do it. So any other interface technology we are using? We are also using something called LSMW. This is also an interface technology. So we have something called ALE IDOC. We also have something called BAPI, which we are discussing now. All these are interfaces. Interfaces means again the same, which can communicate from non-SAP to SAP. But what other sort of differences you have? Which is a better one? Say for example, sometimes you want to upload sales order details. Sometimes you want to upload or you want to change customer master details in SAP. So maybe your functional consultant will ask you, could you please change all the 10,000 customers list which I have? So which method you will choose? Whether you will choose a BDC or whether choose a BAPI? Whether you will choose a BAPI. So always give a first preference to BAPI, because BAPIs, most of the BAPIs are provided by standard SAP. I'll log into SAP to show you what are all the BAPIs we have already provided by standard SAP. So when you want to look in the what are all the BAPIs which we have, go to the transaction BAPI. There is a transaction BAPI. Go here. In the bottom you can see reading business object repository. So the message is coming. It's reading business object repository. So all BAPIs are available in BOR. That is, BOR stands for business object repository. Something like when we create a table, generally it will be available in S11 transaction. We'll call it as a data dictionary, right? In the same way, there is a transaction BAPI. So all the BAPIs, when we create a BAPI or when we create a business objects, so all these BAPIs are available in BAPI transaction. We'll call it as business object repository. So we'll go here. The screen looks like this, and here you have so many standard SAP BAPI. So we'll go with the alphabetical order. I'll click on this tab. For example, now you choose any one of the business requirement. For example, your functional consultant says, I want to create a sales document. Okay, so scroll down. Here we have a B, all the business objects following with a B. Scroll down, still you have come to yes, because you want to have a sales document related BAPI. So scroll down. For example, if you want material related BAPI, you can see this here. Okay, but I want a sales related BAPI, then here I have sales order. Okay, so when I click on this, on the right hand side, you can see some details. So what are all the details you can see? It is the object name is sales order. There is some object type. This is called business object type. Bus 2032 or some name. So we are going to create this kind of business object. What is this business object? Through this business object only, your BAPIs are exposed, or your SAP data will be exposed to the outside world. So this is important. So this is the main difference. The business object is the main difference between your other technologies and your BAPI. So that is what I was trying to tell you here. So we will be having a business object. So inside the business object, we will be having a methods. So we'll go inside this business object and see it. I'll double click on this. So I'm inside the business object here. So I have some methods inside. For example, sales order simulate, sales order get status. All these are methods. So from a .NET application, you want to simulate a sales order, you will call this particular method, sales order simulate. For outside world, it looks like a method. But for us, that means for SAP, when you are inside SAP, when you are looking, it is nothing but a RFC function module. So when I double click on this, I'm getting a screen. So what is this method name? Sales order method name is simulate. I'll go to the ABAP tab here. So here what is there? The name is BAPI sales order simulate. So this is simulating a sales order. Now I will double click on this BAPI sales order simulate. You can see here a radio button, it is saying API function. This is application programming interface, that means can be accessible with third party tools. So now I will double click on this. So now where am I? I am in AC37. I am inside a function module. So what is this name? BAPI sales order simulate. So it looks like a function module, but for outside world, it looks like a method. Say they will access the method simulate. So when they access the method simulate, what will happen? A control comes into SAP, and SAP will in turn call this function module, and the code which is available inside the function module will be executed. So that's how the BAPI is designed in SAP. And what I told, this function module should be an RFC function module, right? So what is the RFC function module? Let me go to the attributes. When I create a function module, generally we will create always normal, but you need to select this radio button, remote enabled function module. So that is what RFC function module. So you should select this radio button. Then whatever the importing exporting parameters you have, select all with a pass by value. So you need to select pass by value tick mark always, because you are handling with the memory of two different platforms. So you should do always a pass by value. You cannot do a pass by reference. That means if you uncheck this checkbox, automatically it will be a pass by reference, but you cannot do pass by reference in case of RFC because you are handling two different platforms here. One more important point, your RFC function modules or your BAPIs will not have any exceptions. So RFC function modules will not have any exception. What is an exception basically in function module? What we learned? Exception means, say for example, I am trying to get some data. If data is not found, I will say rise no data found. I will use the keyword rise to raise an exception. Okay, then for example, in an internal table, I want to get some entry with some particular key where material number equal to 100-100. After read table syntax, I will check size of RC. If size of RC not equal to 0, I will raise an exception. Raise material number not found. So such kind of exceptions generally I will raise in function modules. But RFC function module or BAPI related function modules will not have exceptions. The reason is you are going to provide that means the exception what you are raising should be handled in the third party. If you remember what we are doing, we will create a function module, we will raise the exception and we will leave it. Later when we are using the function module in the program, inside the program we should handle the exception saying that if size sub r is equal to 1 when we call the function module, and later after calling the function module we should say if size sub r is equal to 1 give this message, if size sub r is equal to 2 give this message. Like that we have to handle the exceptions. But in case of RFC, the other party database syntaxes may be different. So if you say raise exception, that is only valid within SAP. So you should not do any raise exception kind of syntaxes in BAPIs. So how to send a messages? For example, while I am doing something in SAP, I got some error. So how should I send the message, error message or success or warning, whatever it may be? How shall I send message to the third party? What you can do is you can create a table, internal table, or you can create a importing or exporting parameter or changing parameter, whatever. You can create a table. In that you fill the table with the message number, message type, whatever the message description. For example, message description you say data not found. You fill one internal table and send the internal table with the help of tables. That means what you do is in your BAPI, in the tables, create an internal table, something like this message table like BAPI ret2. So instead of giving exceptions, instead of giving these exceptions, whenever you have an exception, you directly append the message into this table, fill the work area and append the message into this table. So this table the third party can access. In most of the interviews you will get a question whether RFC function module will have any exceptions. No. Why? Because whatever the exceptions you are raising, third party may not be able to handle. Otherwise you don't know, when you are creating this function module in SAP, you don't know tomorrow a .NET platform is going to use this, or you don't know maybe a Java platform is going to use this later. At the time of creation of this, you don't know that. So what we will do is, instead of raising exception and handling it in different way in different languages, we will simply fill an internal table. So whatever the language it is, whatever the platform it is, they will get the data from this internal table and they will display messages in their syntax based on this internal table content. So, and one more important question is, one more important FAQ, frequently what you get is, the message table in BAPIs should have a structure BAPI ret2. The structure BAPI ret2. So BAPI ret2, what is this BAPI ret2? It has message type, means error, success, warning, all these types, message class, message number, and 4 variables to store your messages, message descriptions. Okay, so this is also an important interview question. What is the structure of message handling in BAPI? So you will have a message class of type BAPI ret2. You should have an internal table or work area of type BAPI ret2. So this is how the BAPI is constructed in SAP. So what are all the things we need to concentrate? We should have a business object. That means we will come to BAPI transaction. So we can have any business process. SAP could have provided a BAPI for that. We can search for the particular business process, something like a purchase order, and we will see what is the corresponding object type, business object for that. We'll go inside that and we can see what are all the methods available for that. So look into the green color LEDs which are glowing. So all the green color LEDs, what they are glowing is they are already in sync and they have some function modules inside this. When I click on get item, I'll go here ABAP. So there is a BAPI PO get item. This is nothing but a function module for us. So let us look into one diagram so that whatever I have told you, you can understand. So this is our SE37 transaction, right? So in this SE37 transaction, we have a function modules, all are RFC function modules. We will make those RFC function modules as API methods inside a business object. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to tell you. And one more important thing, for example, look into this diagram. So here, this diagram indicates that maybe you are access the data which is available in R3 with the different platforms. Okay, so maybe within SAP also you can access the data. Within non-SAP like Visual Basic or Java, those platforms can also access the data. So your customers or whatever it may be, there are different platforms you can see all around. So all these platforms will be able to access the data easily with the help of your business object and the methods inside that. So this is what the main intention of the BAPI. So unlike this, BAPIs are also can be serve the same purpose as that of your BDC. That means if you have a data in a text file or Excel file, just upload the data into the internal table and pass the data into the BAPI. BAPI can be, it can create the data in SAP, something like BDC, same purpose you can use. But the main difference is it can communicate with other platforms. BDC cannot communicate with other platforms. And the advantage is when you are doing a BDC programming, you have to do recording. Right? So what you do, you will go to the transaction SHDB. You will record the first screen. I will provide 3 fields. Then I will press enter. Then in the second screen, I will provide another 2 fields and save button. All these things you will record. Assume tomorrow SAP is coming up with a new version. SAP came up with a new version. And in the first screen, previously 3 fields are there. Now SAP introduced one more field in the first screen. Then what happens to your BDC program? Is it will work? Because you have recorded the screen when there is a 3 fields. Now SAP came up with another field which is a mandatory field, for example, which is a compulsory field. So in that case your BDC program will not work. So that's why when you have a chance to use a BAPI, instead of BDC, always use BAPI. BAPI is preferable when compared to BDC. Within a Excel file or text file to SAP scenario also, compared to BDC, use BAPI. So you may get a question. The same scenario happens. I have used a BAPI when there are 3 fields in the screen, but 4th field is also introduced. SAP has introduced the 4th field. So then is it my BAPI program will I have to change? Do I need to change a BAPI program? there are chances that your BAPI program is also updated by your standard SAP, because your BAPI function most of the BAPI function modules are provided by standard SAP. It is very rare that you will create your own BAPI. That is also possible. You can create your own business application programming interface BAPIs, but it is rare. Most of the times we will use standard SAP provided BAPIs. So because transaction is also standard SAP transaction, BAPI is also standard SAP BAPI. So when SAP is changing a transaction, the corresponding changes SAP will also provide inside the BAPI, because BAPI is also provided by SAP. SAP is responsible. They will change it. So you will not change your program. No need to change your program. So your effort is only one time. Whereas BDC, if something changes in the screen level, you need to do the recording again. Then you need to change your program. You need to send it again to quality and production systems and so on. That is a disadvantage in case of BDC. Okay, so now what we will do is, we will try to create a small scenario. I'll show you first how can we make use of the BAPI function module to create a sales order or purchase order or whatever it may be, a document. Then I will show you how can we access a data from non-SAP to SAP. I have one small MS Access application, but the thing is, recently my server details or something has changed. I was not able to connect, but I will just show you the application. I will also show you how to create a business object, how to create a business object, how to make a RFC function module as a API method inside the business object. So all the stuff we will see. So there are two scenarios basically we are going to see. First scenario, what we will do is, we will be having a text file or Excel file. So text file, we will upload the data into internal table. So then we will use BAPI function module and update SAP. Update SAP transaction or tables. So this is the first scenario we will see. In the second scenario, what I'll do is, I will create a function module, my own function module, customized. Then I will make this function module as RFC function module, and this RFC function module, for this RFC function module I will create a business object. Then inside the business object I will create a method. So this method is nothing but our function module. So once after creation of this method, I will show you an example application which can access that particular object and method, how outside world will be accessing. But the thing is, in the second scenario, the exact data communication I may not be able to show because of some technical reasons, but anyway, I will show you the overall idea how it is going to access. Maybe in the tomorrow or day after tomorrow I will prepare it and I can show you the entire integration. So for today I will give you the overall idea. So now what I will do is, let us go to the first example. Let us take some particular transaction. There is a transaction called CV01N. So this is the transaction CV01N. So in this CV01N transaction, generally we can create some documents. It is a transaction for document management in SAP. Something like MM01 is a transaction for creating a material. In the same way, it is a transaction for document management. So how to create a document? Maybe you should provide a number here, document 01 or something, some document number. Document type, there are various document types are there. Document type, so I'll take this ASM, document part and version. So these details you should provide. Press enter. So what it is saying is, okay, version number is not supported for the document type ASM. Okay, I'll remove it. Press enter. So I am inside this transaction. So I will just give the description, test document, nothing else. I'm saving it. So generally this is the procedure to create a document. So now what we will do is, we will try to create some 10 documents by using BAPI. So now see, it says a document created. So one document means manually we can create, but assume we need to do this for some 100 or maybe 10,000 documents we need to create like this. Then obviously we need to write a program. Previously we know BDC, how to write a BDC program for this you already know. But now we will try to handle this with the help of BAPI. So how to search for this transaction? Is there any BAPI? How to search? As usual, you can go to BAPI. Go to the BAPI and try to look into document management system or create document. So you go to the alphabetical order. So here try to come into D, where D is there. This is one option, B, C, D, E. The other option is in SE37 itself you can search. So here I have a document. Okay. So here object type is DRAW. I have a methods. I have so many methods here. Document create, change, document NQ, DQ. So there are so many are there here. I can make use of these methods, suitable methods. Otherwise, anyway, this method indirectly calls a function module, right? So that function module I will search in SE37. So always I will search with a BAPI underscore. For me, document is required. So I want to create a document. Let us search. So here you can see BAPI document create and BAPI document create 2. These are all the 2 BAPI function modules which are available for me. So I will always take the latest BAPI document create 2, because this could be a older one. SAP could have given this one as a new one. So I will take this BAPI document create 2. So now I am going to display mode. I want to see what are all the importing exporting parameters to this BAPI. So it has some importing parameters like document data. So what are all the document data I should pass to this? What are all the document data? So associated type is BAPI doc DRA2. I'll double click on this. I should pass the document type, number, version, all this description. So what are all the things just we have given in the transaction level? I need to give all those here for the function module. So that's all, my job is over. So if I give all those details to this function module will create a document. Okay, so let us see how we can do this. I'll go to SE38. I'll create a program. Test with BAPI. So here I'll say parameters p_file because I want to upload the data from a file which is on my desktop. So I will say IBIPPARMS-path at selection screen on value request for p_file browse. I will say perform browse underscore file. What I should write in this browse file, there is a function module. The function module name is F4 file name. So click on pattern F4 underscore file name. So this is the function module for browsing your desktop C drive, D drive or whatever. So to locate your file browsing, I am getting the file into p_file. Because now you learnt the OOPS concept, so I want to show you the, instead of using this function module in object oriented, what class you can use this alternately to serve the same purpose. Alternately you can use file open dialog method, which is available in a class called CLABAP char utility. So we have a class CLABAP char util. Let me check. So this is CLABAP char utilities. And this is the class. In this class we have a static method. Mostly, is it not there? Otherwise I will just search it. I didn't remember the class. Let me search in which class it is there. So previously we don't know object oriented programming, so we were using F4 file name. So now we know object oriented program. So alternately we can also make use of class and method. And the method name I remembered, that is file open dialog. Let me search. So the class name is CLGUI Frontend Services. This is the class name. It is not the class with CLABAP char utilities. This is a different class. So I can make use of this class. In this class I have a method called file open dialog. Method called file open dialog somewhere, or directory browse. Yeah, I also have a directory browse. So shows the directory. It shows the directory. You can browse the files. Yeah, here you can see file open dialog. So you can make use of this method. All these methods are static methods. So you can directly make use of the class double arrow the method name. You can make use of this class and this method name instead of what we are using right now. What we are using right now, F4 file name. But if you're, I'm just go ahead right now with the same thing, F4 file name. Let me continue because our concentration is on BAPI. So I will say startup selection, perform upload data. So my data is in text file. I want to upload the data. How can I do that? Upload the data. To upload the data, we have a function module. Function module name is GUI upload. To this I need to give a file name, but my file name should be in a string format. So I will say data LV file type string. So I will say my p underscore file, I will put it in this LV file, and then that LV file I will pass it on here. So I should have a file type. I should have a has field separator as X. If my text file is a tab delimited text file, I should give a file separator as X. And here I will give some internal table into which my data should be uploaded. So all these are exceptions. See, all these are exceptions. This is a normal function module, so it has exceptions. But BAPI function modules will not have exceptions. That is the difference. Okay, so this is a normal function module, so we have exceptions. I will uncomment them, and we need to handle these exceptions. Handle means how to handle. Here in program I need to say if size of r is equal to 1, file open error message, I have to give a message with a file open error. If size of r is equal to 7, I can say message unknown error, or size of r is equal to 6, I will say no authority error. So these are all the errors which were occurred while doing the coding. That means something is not found inside this function module. If you are not able to access the file, so they will give this error, no authority, for example. So here what you will do, you will say if size of r is equal to 6, give a message, a success message or error message, warning message, whatever you would like to give, that type of message saying no authority to access the file. But the rise keyword is written inside the function module, message you are writing in the program. In the same way, if you have done for the BAPI also, inside the BAPI if you give a rise keyword, message you need to do it in the third party. That means maybe in your Java platform or in your Visual Basic platform. Maybe that is a different thing, that is a difficult thing otherwise. So that's why no exceptions are raised inside the BAPI function module. But normal function modules, these are used within SAP only, so we can raise the exceptions. Fine, so I have given an internal table iTab here. So this iTab I need to declare, and I need to decide what are all the fields should be there in this iTab. So I will say types begin of ty underscore file. I want to give some fields inside this. What are all the fields I want to give? In my BAPI structure, I have something like a document type. While creating a document in transaction level, did I pass a document type? Right, I have passed a document type. So from the file also I should pass this. Okay, so I should pass document type, document part and document number, these three. Document version no need to pass for ASM. If it is ASM, no need to pass the document version, right? So when I am passing it, it is giving error. For example, I will create like this. I will give a version here. Then when I press enter, it is giving an error here. So no need to pass the version. Only these three fields I should pass. So these three fields are must in my structure. So I should say first field is document type, associated type, same as that of my BAPI structure. So document type is there. This could be a document type. What else? Document number we are providing. Type this. Version also I will copy. Type this. Document part. Type this. So once it is done, so all these things are done, what we are doing, we press enter. Inside this we are giving a document description, right? So nothing else. Inside this we are giving a document description. So that is this. And you can see the document status username is already available by default. Okay. So those will come by default, but if you want to pass it on, you can also pass it on. For example, I'll say description type dktxt, username, if you want to pass your own username, type, give the username also. And then what else you want to give the status, document status, then you can give this status, internal or external status. But okay, for the timing I will not give any status. Let us see what will happen with this. End of ty file. I have created a structure. I'll declare one internal table, data itab, type table of ty file. I will also declare a structure same as that of this, because I need to pass the data to the function module, and this is an obligatory parameter. See, if this tick mark is there for this function module, if you pass the value, if you doesn't pass the value, there is no problem. But if the optional tick mark is not there, that means it's a mandatory parameter. Inside the function module, you should pass this. It's a mandatory. Okay, so I have to declare one structure like this, data ls underscore doc type BAPI doc draw2. Similarly, this BAPI function module will give me some messages definitely. So there is a return parameter with type BAPI ret2. So I will declare this data ls messages type BAPI ret2 in order to see the messages. So now what I am doing, my table got uploaded, my Excel file or my text file got uploaded into this internal table itab. In this internal table itab, what are all the fields I have? I have a document type, I have a document number, version, part, description, username. All these things I should be having. So once I get this, I will loop my internal table, loop at itab into work area, end loop. If you remember, in the BDC program, we are providing all the small subroutines here, perform statements, which we have done in the recording. But in the BAPI, in case of BAPI, what I will do is, I will call my BAPI function module here. That's it. So I'll go to the pattern, I'll call my BAPI function module. My BAPI function module name is BAPI document create2. So call this function module here. So provide this document data. Document data we have declared already. a structure here for document data, that is LSDoc, with the same structure. So I will say here, move corresponding work area related fields into, not into, let's say to my structure LSDoc, and that LSDoc I will provide here. I don't want to import anything. There is no exceptions for this. Yeah, there is a returning parameter, some messages I want to see. In the return, I have also declared a return structure on the top. So that is LSMess. So this LSMess I will take over here. So these are the messages. So after this, after calling a BAPI function module, say if message, if ls message, there is no record in the ls message, or I will say if ls message hyphen message type, in this ls message we will get all sort of messages, maybe success, maybe error, maybe warning. So inside this we have a message type, right? So I will say if ls message type not equal to E, if it is not an error message, or if it is not a abort message, if it is not an abort message, so I will say not equal to A. So what are all the BAPI has done the changes? This BAPI is doing so many changes. So those changes I will write to database. To write the changes to the database, I need to call a function module. A function module name is BAPI transaction commit. Whether you are creating a sales order, whether you are creating a purchase order or document or material, whatever it may be, whenever you are using a BAPI, always call this BAPI transaction commit. What this BAPI transaction commit will do, whatever the BAPI has done, those changes, if it is successful, so the BAPI changes what it is doing, those changes it will be written to the database. Otherwise, even though the BAPI executes properly, you cannot see the data in the database. So I have given here BAPI transaction commit, for which I am saying wait until the data return to the database. So this is a thing what you need to do. You can also import the return message from this, but I am not importing here. So my coding is done for a BAPI program. Simple. So what you need to do is, you need to upload the file first. I have done uploading the file with the GUI upload. My data is available in the internal table. I loop the internal table and I am calling the BAPI document create to function module. For that I am passing some values. I am getting the message. If error message is there, I am not writing the data to the database. If success message is there, then our information or success message is there, then I will write the data to the database. So now let me save, check my, activate my program. ty underscore file, I should say. I have not declared a work area, so I should declare a work area. Okay. So I have done save, check, activate my program. Now I should have an Excel file or text file on my desktop. I will prepare an Excel file with this fields. In my Excel file, the same order as that of my structure. So what are all the fields here? The same order should be there. Okay, so here what I will do is I will provide document type. Document type is ASM. Then document number. Document number I'll say doc underscore test 03. Document version. No need to give the version, right? So I'll give the blank space for ASM. No need to give the version. Then part I will put 3 zeros. I'll make this column as a text column to accommodate 3 zeros. Then we have to give the description. Description is test 03 or something. So like this, assume we have several records like this. So all these records I should upload into my internal table first, and then here I have not given a username, document number, version, part. I have left 2 columns. No need to leave 2 columns. I will delete it. Yeah. So username I have not given. I will put the username inside the program. So this is my flat file structure. So I will put this in a text file on my desktop. In my desktop I am creating a text file. So I have a text file in my desktop. I'll put some name to this. Fine. So now, because I don't have a username in that file, I will give a username here itself. So here, while passing the data to the BAPI, I will say ls doc hyphen username equal to SciUname. SciUname means current username, which is who is executing this program. So now let us see how this program is getting executed. So what I will do is I will put a breakpoint. I will put a breakpoint in startup selection. So when I execute this program, I should close all my Excel file or text file, whatever is there. Otherwise, I will give it will get some error. So I'll go to my desktop. I will choose the file document. Now I'll execute. So I'm going in debugging. Let us see what's happening. It is going to perform upload data. So whatever is there np underscore file, that means C column, user, so on source, that everything is given to LV file. So now LV file is having the same thing, but it is a string format that we are giving to CLGUI upload, and after execution of this function module, my internal table should get the data from the text file. So I'll click on F6. I don't want to see code inside this function module. So I have clicked F6. So F6 is entire code execution inside a function module or inside a subroutine. F5 means individual step. That means if you want to go inside this function module and execute, click on this F5. I want to execute entire function module code and final result I want to see. So I clicked on F6 button here. So now after execution of this function module, I got data in the internal table. Looks good. Now what I should do? I should loop my internal table. Whatever the data is there in the work area, that means first record means which is with the document test 03. I have to move on to the work area LSDoc. LSDoc is a work area which is having same structure as that of document data, which is in this function module. What is the structure of that document data? Document data inside the function module. It's an importing parameter. You can see document data has a structure BAPI-doc DRA2. So this kind of structure it has. So in that structure I am passing the data whatever I filled in. So now what happening in LSDoc, we filled with document type, document number, part, test 03 is the description. In the next step I am also providing the username. Username is user15. Then I am calling the BAPI document create to function module. So I want to execute the entire function module. I don't want to go inside the function module. If I want to go inside the function module, I'll click on this single step. If I want to see the code inside the function module, click on this. But if you want to execute the entire function module, click on this F6. For example, I went inside the function module by mistake. So now see, I'm inside the, you can see here where I am. I'm inside the function module BAPI document create to. I want to come out of this. I don't want to look in all the code which is there inside this. I want to just come out of this function module. In that case, click on F7. If you want to come out of a particular function module or subroutine or some particular method, you can always click on this F7. So now I came out of this function module. I am inside my program again. I executed entire function module. So now let us see whether LSMES, that means this return parameters, has some errors or warnings or some message. It has. It doesn't have any message. So it is successful. That means BAPI executed successful. So now when I go ahead, when I do a transaction commit, when I call this, the changes will be written to the database. That means after this transaction commit, whatever the BAPI document which we are creating now, what is the document number here? What is the document test 03, right? So this document test 03 will be available in the transaction level after this commit. That means if I go to CV01 and transaction or CV02 and transaction, CV01N is for creating a particular document, 2N is to change a document, 3N is to display a document. So if I go here and say this is the document I want to see, press enter, it says this document does not exist. But after this transaction commit, it should be available. See, when I press enter, now it is available. See, whatever the description we have given with the same description, it is available. So that means this BAPI transaction commit, what it is doing, whatever the changes done by this BAPIs, it may be document, it may be sales order or whatever the BAPI. So the changes will be written to the database. So make sure, don't forget to use a BAPI transaction commit after BAPI. So like this the loop repeats. So I will click F8 because I don't want to see the further part. So you can see now document test 03 is also available, 4 is also available, 5 is also available, until what we have in the text file, all these documents until test 08, everything got created. So this is how you can make use of BAPI, something similar as that of your BDC. BDC also we have uploaded data from the text file into SAP. Now by using also we have done the same thing. So what I recommend is whenever you have a BAPI for a particular transaction, always make use of a BAPI. Don't use BDC as far as possible. But in some cases, you must go with the BDC. In that case, go with the BDC. Some cases, what will happen? SAP will not provide a BAPI for a particular transaction or particular business scenario. Don't have a BAPI. Then go with the BDC. Not an issue. Okay, so this is how the BAPI will be used. So I think we will stop. I hope we will stop here today. If you have any questions here, you ask me. The second scenario we will see tomorrow. So that means creating our own function module, and I will create it as a business object method, and then I can access it. I will show you some third-party application where how I can access the business object. I'll show you tomorrow. Any questions in this now, till now? Today we have seen a simple example of uploading data with BAPI function module into SAP. So we will end up our session today here, and then we'll meet tomorrow. Bye.